What's going on, Jeromes? We said this offseason Minnesota Fighting Vikings general manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah was cooking, even though a lot of the haters and losers obviously hated and lost with the Vikings. That doesn't make sense. But even like hardcore fans were like, well, let's just get to 9-8. We'll see if we can compete for a wild card spot. But no, we were here. You want us on that wall. You need us on the wall. Apparently, like us and Nick Schwartzen were the only people who believed. Baby. That's right. And the Vikings, they won't be playing in the Pro Bowl games because they'll be playing the Super Bowl. Yes, got to get that out of the way every single time. Otherwise, we have so many dad jokes in the comments. But Vikings had 6 Pro Bowlers voted to the Pro Bowl games on the first printing. So you got Slinging Sam Darnold, a.k.a. America's quarterback, as well as Andrew Van Ginkel, Byron Murphy Jr., as well as Jonathan Grenard, and then some guy named Justin, right? But the first 5 were signed by Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, either this offseason or the previous one in Murph's case, or DePaul a couple years ago, and it's pretty impressive the way that Kwesi has built this squadron through free agency. Now, we need to do better in the draft, right? Absolutely, but there is more than one way to. What's the PETA-approved way to say skin a cat? Because I know that. We looked this up one time. It was where instead of 2 birds with 1 stone, it's feed 2 birds with 1 scone. It's funny, man. Anyways, but Kwesi, yeah, so he extended Justin Jefferson, by the way, in the most drama-free long-term extension deal in NFL history. It's kind of impressive. But signed Sam Darnold, signed Van Ginkel, signed Grenard, signed Murphy 2 offseasons ago, signed DePaul a couple years ago, where all of this stuff is... It's so funny, like people who just want to hate on Kwesi by default. I'd be like, oh, the 2022 draft class, or these are Flores' picks. All right, so if Kwesi isn't involved in personnel selection, if he isn't involved in contracts, what exactly do you think that he does as general manager of the Vikings? No, honest question. Do you think that he just plays Minesweeper all day? Is that it? Oh, or sometimes he'll switch it up with Cosmic Pinball, Windows 95 references? No. Hey, if Kwesi is going to get stick for bad draft picks and bad signings, like he deserves credit for good draft picks and good signings. That is how the game should be played. And long story longer, ESPN broke down the various Pro Bowl rosters. This is what they said about the Vikings. Pro Bowlers: Jefferson, DePaul, Grenard, AVG, Murph, Darnold. The group of 6, the Vikings' biggest to the Pro Bowl since 2009, provides a perfect encapsulation of their unexpectedly strong season. Oh, unexpected rate. All right. Half of the group, Darnold, Grenard, Van Ginkel, were part of the Vikings' enormously fruitful 2024 free agent class. Oh, by the way, Cashman snubbed. Absolutely. Murphy was a product of the 2023 class, while Jefferson is the only player among them originally drafted by the team. The draft remains a crucial part of long-term team building, but there's more than one way to build a winner. Maybe that's the PETA-approved way to say skin a cat. Do you know Darnold, blah, 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 boring numbers from Kevin Seifert, who's not Carl Grossman. But Kwesi was in his bag this offseason. He was assembling all of the Infinity Stones with Darnold, with Aaron Jones, with Grenard, with Cashman outside. How about that? As well as with AVG, with Gilly, with Shaq, with everyone, right? And here's what's amazing, too. So... in terms of like the price is right. So Cousins got paid by the Falcons. Danielle Hunter got paid by his hometown Texans, which he's panning out. Should have been a Pro Bowler, by the way. But their 2 contracts totaled $69.5 million. Nice in terms of average per season. For $69.5 million, nice for the Vikings. The Vikings have, by average, Darnold, Aaron Jones, Tilley, Hottie Ward, Grenard, Van Ginkel, Cashman, Gilmore, Shaq. That's nice. Seems to be pretty good. Also, the fact that Kwesi is operating this with the $62 million dead because of Kurt, because of Daniil, because of Marcus Davenport, it's kind of amazing. Now, yes. I fully agree. The lifeblood of a team is still through the draft, because we always say that free agency is a tax on teams that can't draft well. And you don't build a team through free agency. Free agency is for supplementation, right? So free agency for need, draft BPA. That's our general ethos on things. But yeah, Kwesi, I understand. 2022, I understand. Fully understand. Hey, at least the UDFAs are panning out well. So 2022, you got Ryan Wright, 2023, you had Ivan Pace Jr. I always love people are like, oh, tell me which draft pick that Kwesi has done good except for Addison. Oh, just so he doesn't get credit for the good ones, but he gets blamed for all the bad ones. That's how things work, huh? No. But Blackman, I think next year he's going to be starting. Probably would have started this year if he didn't tear his ACL. And then, I don't know. Jaquelin, jumping Jaron Hall, a.k.a. the Mormon Missile, and Dwayne McBride. They got him. They're gone. But I also do respect, because they waived Lewis Cine, they traded Booth. I respect that he doesn't stick with players that aren't up to snuff just because he drafted them, right? And I feel like teams for too long, like ego gets in there. It's like, I can't cut him. He was a high draft pick. But if there's a better player, there's a better player at the end of the day, right? And then the 2024 class has a chance to be historic. J.J. McCarthy, if it pans out to be the future franchise guy. Diamond Dallas Turner, shown a lot of promise out there, lots of flashes. I think that he will turn into one of the best speed edge rushers in the game. Kyrie Jackson, rest in power. Walter Rouse, I think, could be a swing backup, potentially take over the spot of Quisenberry. Maybe bumps up a little bit later on, depending on what happens with Brian O'Neill's age. And then you got Will Rockford. Hopefully that leg is good to go. Don't want to amputate the Prussian's leg. Then Juergens, baby make it smooth like lotion. Levi Drake Rodriguez. Of course, you got Bo Richter and Gabriel Murphy and Nudie McLaughlin and Taki Taami as well. So, it's kind of a nice groundswell of UDFAs here for the Vikings. So, overall, yes, drafts have to get better, but free agency, Kwesi's been on one. Kwesi absolutely getting after things. Plus, I love that he's not afraid to take risks and the chance of looking stupid, because that's what you get for not coming from cut from the normal cloth of a GM. You go from scout, director of scouting, assistant GM to then GM. You went from R&D to assistant GM to GM. All right, so he's doing things a different way, and it's working out pretty damn good for the Vikings right now, because you can bitch and moan all you want about the 2022 draft class. 2024 team at 14-2, pretty effing good. And Kwesi does deserve a lot of credit there. But your thoughts are thoughts. Kwesiball in full effect. Let Kwesi cook. Let us know your thoughts. Our thoughts, comment section. You guys are the best. You know what to do. As a burp. Skull, production value.